What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Gino Plumber, real estate investor here in Atlanta, Georgia. On this video, we're going to go over how you can figure out what your quarterly rocks will be in this quarter coming up. All right, guys, thanks again for coming back for another video. We're about to start Q4 2022, right? October, November, December, Q4 2022. And for our company, every single quarter, we do a meeting. We call it our quarterly goals, our VTO, Vision Traction Organizer, that we got from reading the book Traction. If you haven't read that book, highly recommend you go read that right now, Traction, right? And what it talks about is every quarter, you should have a meeting going over your core values as a team, going over your purpose, going over your 2-year goals, going over your yearly goal, and going over, more importantly, your next quarter. What are you going to do in the next quarter? And usually every person on your team, or at least every department, should have 2 to 3 rocks, they call them, right? 2 to 3 goals or numbers that they should be hit. That is what they want to accomplish, or things, right? Not just numbers, but things that they want to accomplish in the next quarter. I know a lot of you guys are doing it, and I've always had trouble too, and I know you have, and I know, a lot of people, like I said, watching this have trouble, my partners and what rock should I pick? How do I know what to pick? Now, obviously it depends on your department, but for me as an acquisition department and how Chandler does it for Dispo and how you can do it based on your departments is you got to look at it as this. And this question our mentor just taught us. Where are you losing the most revenue in your department? Where are you missing most of the revenue? Like, where if you fix this one thing would increase your revenue? For us, for example, we're not completing as many survey calls. I've talked about survey calls before. It's calls we make when sellers do not agree on the price with us. Instead of just put them in a follow-up, which we still do, it's also doing immediately, a survey call where another acquisition manager acts as a survey representative or a customer service rep to see what's going on with why they didn't get it locked up. Now, again, this video is not on that. There's a video I think a couple weeks ago based on that. But anyway, if we only do about 50% of those. But if we can get our number up to where we're at 75% of every appointment that does not turn into a contract gets a survey call, we gain 25%. If we can do that 25% more, we probably can do at least 3 more contracts a month. So 3 more contracts a month, we can easily gain a good amount of revenue. And on top of that, we won't be losing it out on it, right? So another way you can think of it too, it's kind of the same thing hand in hand, but just asking yourself again, where can profitability be made and it's kind of the same thing, right? Where are you losing and where can profitability be made? If you ask yourself those questions for your department that you're talking about in this situation, you're going to start coming up with ideas. For example, for our transactional coordination, we were talking about that we need to start the title process within 2 business hours of when we lock up an agreement, right? Another example for title, if we can go from being where we're at now, which I think is about 20%, but to 10% of all cancellations coming from properties that have bad title. So again, if we can get twice as good as solving title problems, right? Going from 20% of our cancellations being from title to 10%, we can gain tremendous revenue from that, right? We solved 10% of the deals that we didn't do in the past, right? 10 more, percent. We become double, just, twice as good at solving title problems. We can, get almost twice the amount of deals that in that pool, right? So it's just knowing, hey, what are, again, the questions, where can I add the most revenue to my business? Right? Where can I get the most profit from my business or my department? / where am I losing most of it right now? Where can I gain, fix one thing and that I'm losing at currently and get better, right? Another thing might be like disposition is a disposition department, a JV department, right? For dispositions. Like I have a bunch of people reach out for me for JVs and we just don't have that department. We're losing out revenue by not having that department where I could fully service, JV deals. Well, if we get that instituted, will we get more revenue? Of course we will, right? So these are just things, like I'm just spewing things out. I know I might be confusing you a little bit, but when you're trying to figure out these rocks, like really truthfully think about what if I did this one thing? Will it add revenue to our company? Or where are we struggling right now on where we're losing out on revenue? And then build numbers around that and hit your goals, right? So again, for my example was 10% or 20% of all of our canceled contracts were from bad title, not solving, bad titles. And yeah, there's some times where it's never going to be perfect, but if we can get twice as good at solving those. So for example, we have 10 contracts we've canceled, right? Out of the quarter, 2 of them came from bad title. If we can solve that and where only 1 comes from there, right? And because we got better at solving title issues, if we can do that and get just one more contract, I'm just giving an example. These aren't the true numbers, but you guys see what I'm saying. If we can just get one more deal to close, that's an extra $30,000. Is that adding revenue? For sure, right? So again, you guys, just think of it like that. Where can we add revenue? Where can we prevent from losing any more? And you can make your rocks around that, your numbers around that. So for that example, again, I'll hit it one more time, is our goal now will be only 10%. That's the goal, tracked every week, every quarter, every month of the quarter, and then obviously at the end of the quarter, that we only have 10% of all our canceled deals come from bad title. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.